everyone. Welcome to the Spiritually Fucked podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Mulholland. Let's get into the show. Spiritually Fucked story time. Hello, everyone. I have been meaning to record this for a minute now, but I had a lot of reasons not to, and I'm going to share all those reasons because this is my podcast and I can. And if you are on YouTube, hello, my closet is fixed. Not that you can see it or care. I'm also not wearing pants. Not that you can see or care, but I just felt I needed to share that for marketing reasons, if that interests you. Okay, so story time. I want to share my past few weeks because it has been a week of reflections, and oh my God, you guys, you just cannot make this shit up at this point. But some good things, just some updates of what's going on with me. I'm out of my depression. Not that I was in like an insane depression, but I was kind of just going through some emotions, and I have rose out of that. And I'm feeling really good and excited. And I started astrology school. And it is really, really fun because not only am I learning about my chart, but there's something in this that is awakening me in a whole nother way. Learning about my chart has not only deepened my love for myself, but it explains a lot, and it shows you why you are the way you are and ways you can better yourself. And as I'm learning about my chart and myself, I'm just like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And how can I apply this to my life now? And I'm also really excited because I'm going to be able to offer that to people, and I can see so clearly how my chart, in more of like a medical sense, makes sense with what has happened to my body. And there's this whole, I'm just in the beginning of it, but there's this whole medical side of astrology and obviously like the spiritual side of astrology. And it pretty much, if you don't really know, or if you think astrology is just woo woo or you don't believe in it, it's pretty much just a blueprint of who you are. It's a blueprint of who you are, and it's a snapshot of what was happening in the sky when you were born. So, the day you incarnated, you were birthed into this world, this is how the sky was. So, you can kind of just see, like, I don't know, maybe I'll get into it in another podcast, but it's rocked my world. And I'm really excited about it because I'll be able to read other people's charts. I literally have done one reading for someone and I felt pretty good about it. So go Taylor. So that's kind of new in my life, and I like having a structure. So being in a school where I'm learning is really good for my brain and my mental health. So I'm excited about that. And I started singing lessons and I joined a band. So we're doing a lot of things that are getting out of my comfort zone, and it's been really healing. I go to singing classes, but I swear it's like therapy for me. And also the band that I joined, I don't know, you guys. It's a new thing. It's like an adult band and it starts at the end of the month. I have no idea what I signed up for, but I'm going to start singing on stage again, and I'm excited for that because I miss doing theater. I was living the best life when I was in theater, and I don't have that community here in Colorado, and it makes me really, really sad. So I'm hoping that this is a good outlet for me because I am someone who just needs to express. Clearly I have freaking a bunch of Instagrams and YouTube and now podcasts. I need to let it out because that is who I am in this life. And not gonna lie, my astrology has confirmed that I am just meant to express and express in my own way, and I'm finding out how that looks. And if you're here and you're with me, I adore you and thank you so much because I'm always just trying to figure it out. And today it's a podcast, and tomorrow it might be a poetry book or a silly reel, but we're doing it. So, story time. That's five minutes in. Let's talk about why I brought you here today for Spiritually Fucked Story Time. And I mentioned the word reflections. And if you don't know what reflections are, I've talked about them a lot. There is a universal law called law of reflections. Yes, everyone, there is more than the law of attraction. I don't know if it's in the 12 universal laws, if that is. I'm going to look it up right now. I have my computer right in front of me because I'm so handy dandy. Anyways, I think the law of okay, I looked, you guys. I think the law of reflections is outside the universal laws, 12 universal laws. I don't fucking know, but as soon as you learn about the law of reflections, it makes life and up-leveling yourself so much easier because as within, so without. So, when things are reflecting outside of you, it's a reflection of what's going on internally. And this year has been the year of reflections. And specifically, the last 2 weeks, I've just gotten some crazy, crazy reflections that have been thrown in my face because I am someone who, if something is not big and explosive, I won't make a change. And so we're going to all go through that. I talked about in one of my other podcasts how my closet broke and how that was a reflection of what's going on with me. And guess what, everyone? My closet is fixed. And so there's some good things about that because my closet's fixed now. But the bad part about that is I found out everything in my closet was toxic. I just woke up one day and it was like an overnight thing where everything I wear, if it's synthetic or made of plastic, like polyester or nylon or rayon, whatever, it drives me fucking crazy. I can't stand the feeling anymore. And so I had to literally purge everything from my closet. And it ended up being like everything and all my nice brands I realized were not very nice. And it kind of just upset me. But, I'm stepping in this new chapter of my life. So I think for me, it is important to be wearing clean clothes. I don't know, you guys. Is it good? Is it bad? Right now in my life, it feels really bad. So I'm doing a purge. I'm getting rid of the bad. Well, or at least are in the process of getting rid of, anything made with polyester and whatever. It's very interesting because I'm realizing how attached I was and am to things. And this is very Taurus with Cancer rising because I like that soft, comfy, homey feeling within clothes. And it's like this attachment that I have to a freaking sweater. And I'm like, oh my God, I know it's not good for my skin. It's, I'm not going to explain why it's not good for your skin, but it even feels like icky. And I'm like, okay, can I just be a normal human and wear clothes and not think everything is toxic? But this is the life we live in. And right now it's literally taking over my life because I'm like, I want to be clean and I want to know what I'm wearing is not causing harm. So I'm choosing more cotton and linen and silk. And actually, some of my favorite shirts were cotton, which, it's not organic cotton, but whatever. Cotton is cotton. But I'm going to take what I have. And if you are wondering where I am shopping from, I did get a discount code for Made the Label. It's this brand. It's like a workout brand. It's honestly similar prices to Lulu. It might be even less expensive. I don't know. Leggings are like $100. I know that's expensive, but it is 100% organic cotton and it lasts. Supposedly organic cotton lasts longer. I don't know. I could be making all of this up, but if you do want to shop from there, I do have a discount code. It's Taylor Mulholland 20. So this is my first little discount code for the podcast. So that's kind of exciting. I'm going to link it in the show notes. Do I sound like a professional saying that? Okay, so the closet is fixed and now I gave you a discount code, so that's great. And okay, we're going to go into the reflections that have happened. And I've literally have lived this podcast episode in my head for the past few days, and I finally decided to sit down and record it, so hopefully I remember everything. But the past 2 weeks, so it all started when I was looking at my likes on one of the reels I posted, and I was talking about how I just joined astrology school. I said the planets were fucking me over, so I need to learn how they're doing this so I cannot let that happen. Which it is kind of serendipitous to have been going through this like intense Saturn return, and then now I'm an astrologer from it. So the planets clearly were initiating me into that path. But anyways, I digress. I'm off topic again. So it was 9:30 at night, and I'm looking at the likes on my reel, as I sometimes do, because I like to see who likes my photos and who is supporting me. So just know that. And I see this account, and it's my name and my picture. And I go, what the F? WTF? I click on this, and it's a freaking duplicate account of me. Like, they're taking all of my photos from the past and acting like it's me. And not only was it an Instagram, it was an Instagram, a Twitter, and a YouTube. So this one account I found in one night, I see it's posting, and it was posting for about 5 days before that. Or maybe it was just 3 days. I think it was a brand new account. Instagram even said new account on it. It said new account, and it was me. And they were acting like it was me posting old photos that I found of myself, which all these old photos, that's the first question everyone asked, because I asked everyone to report it. All these old photos of me, people were like, well, how'd they get them? And I'm like, Facebook. I grew up in the generation where we didn't leave the house without a digital camera, and we took pictures of everything. I had 20 albums on Facebook that were just public, and they all had like 400 freaking photos. And this person was taking my photos and posting them on Instagram, posting them on Twitter, posting them on YouTube. YouTube, they were taking videos from Facebook and from my Instagram and pretending like it was me. And I freaked the fuck out. And it was 9:30 at night, and I ended up staying up till like midnight trying to figure out how the fuck to deal with this situation. You know, I asked all my friends to report it. And here's another reflection. So not only was there a duplicate account of me, but then my friends were asking me if I was a scam. They were like, Taylor, did you just message me to report this account? And I'm like, yes, like I have a duplicate account. Can you please report this? And they were acting like I was a scam. So there was so much juice from this situation. But anyways, I had an account acting like it was me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And I asked all my friends to report it, and thankfully they did. First, they asked if I was a scam, which I wasn't. I'm like, no, please help me get rid of this person. And then the next day I'm talking to, my spirit doctor who I go to for such matters. And I said, you know what? I need to spiritually protect myself from this person. So naturally, I need to hex them because I need this situation to end, like right now. And so I'm like, I'm going to hex this person. I'm going to make sure this stops. Like I need to protect my online presence. And the question he asked is like, well, you need to find out if this is AI or a person. And, I did some things. I did some dowsing, and I found out it was AI. And it was confirmed AI from not only the dowsing I did, but also from the fact that if you read word for word how AI can pretend to be you, it was this account. It all showed up overnight. There were multiple accounts, and the stuff they were posting were like the same captions over and over and over again. And you would think, well, why would AI do that? Well, the first reason is because AI takes people's accounts and tries to duplicate them for like phishing scams, or they try to monetize you. And I'm like, okay, I can't even monetize myself. I'm like, at this point, should I like be paying this person to like market for me? I mean, they're doing a good job. Like these people were getting views. Like on YouTube they had like thousands of views, and I'm like, I'm not even getting these. Like, how is this person more famous than me? Like it was kind of crazy. But AI does it literally specifically for people who are in the spiritual world or more in the comedy kind of like influencer. And not that I am that at all, but I am a silly girl who talks about spiritual stuff. This is the Spiritually Fucked podcast, and I have a lot of internet stuff. I have a lot of content, and this person or this entity was taking my content and trying to monetize it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I felt so violated, you guys. You have no idea. But that again was like the reflection. And so there was one instance. After I found out that I was being duplicated, the next day I found out my podcast was duplicated. I had 2 podcasts, and this happened because I uploaded the wrong audio and then I deleted that audio. And so I re uploaded a new podcast and it wasn't uploading. And I was like, what is going on? Everything I'm trying is not working. And so I ended up contacting Apple Podcast support. And of course, it was over Labor Day weekend, which takes so long to get response from anyone. And I was just like so frustrated in all this. I'm like, I'm being duplicated in my Instagram world, and I'm being duplicated in my friends thinking I'm a scam, and then I'm being duplicated on podcasts. I'm like, this is crazy. This is the craziest week ever. So my podcast ended up being duplicated, and I had to do all these things. I've learned so much about technology. It's freaking insane. I'm like, I should not know all this information. But I know you're probably asking, like, well, what is the reflection in all of this? And well, the reflection is I do feel like I am living duplicate people. And it's the truth. And I have multiple personalities. And if you know me and you're my friend, you know this because I have like my poetic side. And then I have my comedy, silly side. And then I have like my spiritual side. And I'm living all these things. And a part of me feels not shameful about it, but confused by it. Like, am I any of these? Am I all of these all at once? Like, how do I hold myself in being all these identities? And that's where my closet broke. And that was a reflection of like, I have all these clothes, I have all these identities I wear, and I don't know how to hold them. And so it was just a big reflection of like, where in your life are you being real and where in your life are you being fake? And a lot of it, I'm not going to lie, is between like my family life and stuff because, you know, I don't know. I grew up in a space where I felt like I had to be something to, you know, I don't know, receive love or get attention or whatever. And it was reflecting so big right now in my life because I am meant to shift and grow out of that. And it was reflecting in being duplicated on Instagram, duplicated on Twitter, YouTube, and then my podcast. And so what happens in these reflections, you could think like, oh, well, is this just a coincidence? It could be. But how was I an energetic match to that coincidence? And it was because I'm in this space where I'm in my Saturn return. I'm turning 29. I'm like, I don't know who I want to be, what I want to do. And it's like, you know, I'm pretty intuitive and I'm an empath. So when I go into certain situations and certain settings, it's very natural for me to adapt or develop my personality to where I'm at in the room so I can, you know, vibe with them or be accepted or feel safe. And I've done that my whole life, and I've done such a good job with it because I'll go whenever I'm in my theater crew with my theater friends. I'm like a theater kid and I'm this nerd. But then whenever I'm in this poetic setting, I'm like this poetic girl. And it's like when I'm in the spiritual setting, I like turn on my spiritual hat. And I was just having this weird time, like either accepting all those at once or like feeling wrong for being all these different aspects or wearing all these different costumes. And I'm learning right now how to integrate all of them and accept all of them and be who I am in the moment and not try to shift or change who I am depending on who I'm with. You know, like I'm really outing myself here right now, but this is what this podcast is for. It's for me trying to figure things out on a mic. And so you're going to learn a lot about me, but what was happening is I was just meant to let go of the impersonating of anything that's not me. And this is kind of where the closet purging is coming in to my life because I'm meant to purge all these things that are not meant to be worn and obviously step into a more pure organic cotton kind of way. And when I started to realize this and fully accept it and fully sit in it and to just think, okay, who really am I? From a core level, like who am I by myself? Who am I alone? And is that the same girl who is on the internet? Is that the same girl who goes out in public? And just rooting into how I show up for myself and how I show up to this world. And I mean, Granted, I'm never not gonna have multiple personalities. Like, I'm not like sickly living in between lives of these people, but I do have just like a lot of characteristics of myself. Just like stepping into who I am in that moment instead of trying to like pretend like I'm someone I'm not if I don't feel like being that person, you know? Like, and I kind of found myself hesitating making this podcast because I didn't feel like a podcast girl in that moment. And maybe I should have just stepped and started recording when I was feeling my more inner deep poetic side and not waited for the moment. Okay, so I was sitting with these awarenesses. As soon as I became aware of what the heck was happening and I turned it internal, I said, okay, I'm going to let go of the external. I'm going to forget about it. And I'm going to go internal and say, okay, let's work on who really am I? Where am I impersonating myself in my life? Or where am I acting like I am someone else in my life? And it went pretty deep, you guys, and pretty vulnerable. And I'm going to keep some parts to myself. But as soon as I sat with that, within hours, I got I got a notification. I'm not kidding you. Within hours, I got a notification that the Instagram accounts, the Twitter accounts, the YouTube accounts were completely erased. My podcast was not duplicated anymore. I only had one podcast, and I got a call that they were going to come fix my closet. So within an hour of doing the energetic work, all of my external problems were fixed. And this is where the law of reflections work and why it is so beautiful when things in your life start to quote unquote stop working for you or start to fall apart. It's because they're asking you to go inward. And trust me, when all this started happening, I was frustrated. I was mad. I was like, how can I do external things to delete this podcast or delete this person who is trying to impersonate me or whatever? I tried to do all the external things and nothing was working, and I got frustrated, and it literally overtook my entire life this one day. I was so frustrated. And then I finally let it go. I went internal and I started to do the work, and then, naturally, the external starts to shift because you don't become an energetic match to it. You change the frequency on the inside, and the external shifts. And that was the few weeks I had, which is why I didn't record a podcast episode last week, because I was just kind of sitting with everything and I was just like so mad. I'm like, this is crazy. I am trying to upload this feminine beauty radicalness podcast and I can't. It's not. I'm trying to express myself as a woman and it's not uploading. And then I had 2 podcasts and then all this Instagram stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I want to go run away and hide. But if I went and ran away and hide, I wouldn't have this beautiful reflection. So that is the Spiritually Fucked story time of the week. And the reason I really wanted to share this was because it was such an impactful lesson I learned of what was happening external, and I was able to completely shift and recreate the script in my internal environment in my life, and it made life so much easier. And of course my external environment changed because I changed internally. And so what I'm inspiring you to do is to go look out in your life and see the patterns that are happening in your external environment and think, is any of this a reflection of what's happening internally? Because that is where the magic happens, especially with patterns. This week, for some reason, my patterns come in 2. Like my closet has broken twice. And it's all been a relation to like structure and like it's always about structure in my life. That is what I'm meant to learn in this life is structure. It's one of my soul lessons. When they do come in patterns, it's like, okay, your boyfriend always cheats on you. You've had 10 different boyfriends and they always cheat on you. Where are you cheating yourself in your life? Your friends aren't being honest with you. You have multiple friends that are not being honest with you. It's like, where are you not being honest with yourself? These are just examples, but if they are happening in patterns, you are an energetic match to them. I think the boyfriend cheating thing is just such a common thing like women experience, and it's always like you are finding the same guys over and over and over again, and your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, you cannot make it up at this point. Like, where in your life are you lying to yourself? Where are you cheating yourself? Where, I don't know, you can never keep money. You're always broke. It's like, where in your life are you not valuing yourself? It can go deep. And this is one of the things I do love to go deep with people. Like, me and my friends geek out about this shit all the time. It's like, well, this is happening here in my external environment. Why is this happening? Like, this is craziness. And then you go internal. And then, oh my gosh. And then when you add in the astrology piece, this is where I'm like totally geeking out right now, because I'm like, oh my God, it's in this house. And this house is the house of career. And of course, my career is not where I'm supposed to be right now because I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, that blah, blah, blah. I'm getting off topic again, but energy work is so real. That is what I want to tell you guys. And I learned this insane thing today. I've been to freaking 3 Joe Dispenza events, and I've done all these online courses, and it's like today was the day that something clicked in my head about matter to matter and talking about atoms and like our physical flesh. And it fucking blew my mind. And I'm not going to share it on this one because this deserves its own special podcast, but it completely changed. It literally changed my life. I'm like, oh my God, it finally clicked. Like, why everything really is energy, and how when you approach it from a matter to matter situation, it can work. But usually the way it works is from the intention behind it. And really, if you want real change, like, you have got to go at a deep energetic level. And that energetic level, it sounds so easy. Like, why can't we just say a mantra and it change? Well, that's because we're humans and we are matter. We're not as much matter as you think we are, but we are programmed. We have brains that program us in a certain way. And if we're living from a program, we can't just get a new program overnight and change. Maybe you can if you have super strong will. But, you know, we have neural pathways, and like there's rewiring that needs to happen. And that rewiring happens through repetition and hypnosis and meditation. And I'm like, oh my God, all this stuff is finally making sense of why things work on a physical level. Because I'm super woo woo. I'm super in the spiritual world, and I know it works. So it's always worked for me, but I never understood it at a physical level, at like a human science level. It's so hard for me to like concept anything that involves science and learning. I'm a learner who takes a very long time. And if I feel something work on an energetic level, it's like locked into me forever. But to learn it from like a scientific level, I'm like, what the fuck is this person saying? But it finally clicked today. So I feel really, really confident in what I'm saying, because I not only know it from a experience from the past 11 years of my life, but from a scientific level, I finally know why this stuff works. And so I am here to share it with you. And so, with this week, I had a lot of crazy stuff happen, but I'm on the other side of it now. And if you can take anything away from it, it's that everything in your environment is happening for you. And you should be so excited when things start to stop working or not work out for you, because this is your opportunity to go inward and make a shift. And also, my closet's fixed. And that's really exciting because it's strong. I have a strong closet now that can fit clothes, but there are no clothes in there now because we're getting a new closet. And new year, new me. It's September. I think it's a great time for a new start. So, life will always be messy and fucked. That's where the growth, magic, and responsibility happens. So, it's your choice how you take it. And also, protect your energy. Whatever you do and whatever you put out into this world, just put a little protection barrier around it. Really sit with it. Really sit. sit with it because it's going to be on the internet forever. And the interesting thing about these were what these accounts were pulling up was everything from middle school. And that was what was so confusing. I was being forced to see who I was at the time. And I actually was really proud of myself because I loved that little girl and I had no regrets. But just know everything is on the internet forever. And I was like, oh my God, I was such a free little spirit back then on Facebook. And she was just so cute. And she's doing the same thing now, but with energy protection because anyone can take advantage of anything you put out there. So you just want to make sure it's intentional and it has a good heart in it. And that little girl posting on Facebook at the time, she did. She just wanted her friends to see her photos. And then an AI entity went in and tried to monetize it. I'm like, okay, I literally cannot even monetize myself. Like, should I be paying this person, this AI, to do it for me? But that's the scary part of AI. I'm not going to get into that, but oh boy, you guys, that's a whole nother topic. But just yeah, this whole podcast has been about your shit becoming your shifts. That should be a thing because that's what is making me grow in this life. And it's true. For plants to grow, you need to put shit on them. That's why manure is a thing. So for you to shift, you got to look at your shit. How does your brain like that metaphor? Subconscious loves metaphors. I should put that in a meditation. Would you buy it? Maybe AI will monetize it for me. Okay, I'm going to go now. I really hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you are enjoying the show. I really, really hope that. That's my intention. And I'm going to leave you there. Okay, bye.